right, everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of the Blockbuster Brothers. Today we are talking about HBO's new Game of Thrones series. Is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? No one knows anymore. I'm kidding. We're talking about the night or a night of the Seven Kingdoms. Did I botch that? I usually do here. No, a night of the Seven Kingdoms. Again, it's supposed to be a prequel to the Game of Thrones series. We watched it here. We're going to talk about it. Steven, let it rip.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is the new HBO prequel set about 90 years before Game of Thrones, following the adventures of Sir Duncan the Tall, a naive, honorable hedge knight, and his clever young squire, Egg, as they wander Westeros in a lighter, more character-driven story full of tournaments and chivalry. Okay, I need to say something right off the bat.
Say it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now I will.
Really mean it.
Okay, because I do. I'll tell you this. The lead of this show, Peter Claffey, will be one of the biggest movie stars in the planet in 5 years, maybe in 3. It is a guarantee. I put $50 on that right now because I don't have $100 to spare. It is a lock, and I'll tell you what. Whoever cast this young man to be on this show, and previously he did some small things for the show Borderline, has got the eyes of success.
Paul
whatever.
Newman. He's got the blue. He's got those blue eyes.
He's got those blue eyes. This kid was a former pro rugby player who got into acting, and the kid couldn't be more likable. I was so. Do I think he's Christian Bale? No, but he is that likable with a sense of strong, formidable hero that does have empathy within him, and that combo is lethal. Lethal. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat. This kid is going to be an absolute superstar. I mean, he's leading a show already on HBO, so it's not like he's in middle school and I'm calling it. But I'll tell you what, I was really impressed. Did you like him as much as I did?
You know what, Steven? I love you to death, but I think you're losing that $50.
Oh, man.
You know what? I do think that he had... I was kind of mixed on how I felt about this one. I liked that they were, right away I was like, okay, they're working with the tripod. They're setting the camera up. The composition's more intentional. We start off with like this, what's going on in this landscape? He's burying his masters. Oh, and then they do these flashbacks. Pop, these quick little flashbacks and, adding a very much the light. This is a very like a comedic, avenue. And I think that ruins it for me. It's trying a little bit too hard. And I almost think the kid's the best actor in it. Egg, the little kid.
He's great.
And to be honest, the kids that, on the sets that I've been a part of, the kids have been some of the best actors that I've worked for. They are, I don't know how they come out the gate. So I don't know, but the kid does a phenomenal job. I thought the guy was a little overacting, and I think that wasn't on him, because I think you're right. He does have a look to him. I think he kind of reminds me of someone a little bit more of like the ilk of like Channing Tatum, where it's like given the right script and guidance, like if you're asking him to do a Christian Bale thing, he's not Christian Bale, but I think he's of the and I don't want to put him in a pigeonhole, so I won't talk too much about him because I'm not sure what he'll become. But I do know from watching this that I just felt like the comedy felt as the people in it, where they were trying to be like gross of like that time, instead of like just being like Hawk and Loogies, and like it was a little too aware of itself, and not going enough. For my suspension of disbelief was ruined the more characters that I met in it. I think that it just like felt like I was watching a play where everybody was playing somebody. You know, I was so like it was so over the top that I was like, chill out a little bit of like I don't know. I just think
Sure.
humor's dangerous. Humor's dangerous. It can feel a little contrived, and I think contrived to sound fancy and like I know what I'm talking about. It's rather contrived.
Rather contrived. Well, here's what we'll as far as some additional information on it. The show was created by George R. Martin himself, alongside the showrunner.
When is he gonna finish the damn books?
Yeah, I never. This is never gonna
So
happen.
like you know, this is all a roundabout, you know, and
But
this is all trying to fix the botching of Game of Thrones. This is all the. This is let's make this a murder mystery. Who killed Game of Thrones?
well, so he created it alongside showrunner Ira Parker, who wrote on the House of Dragon, but not the showrunners who worked for Game of Thrones. So
yeah, Dan and Dan.
In my
Whatever
opinion,
the hell.
in my opinion, this show is far better than House of Dragons. And
Yeah, that's not saying much. Well,
And-
yes, yeah.
but-
I'm taking shots here. I'm sorry.
yeah, the kid is coming in hot. But I'll tell you what, that's fair, and I hear your criticisms. I'd say we are definitely opposite sides of the aisle on this. I thought this show was very well done. I thought the humor was injected just enough to where I was like, the opening 7 minutes is him burying his father figure, right? It's like tripod, like Brian's saying, very cinematic. It's nature. You got a lot of ambient sound going on. It's dramatic. And then all of a sudden,
yeah,
quick
he's taking a
cut
shit.
to relieving himself quite graphically, mind you, right by a tree. And I was like, oh, like what a cool kind of way to dive in and then surprise you a little bit. So I found that those comedic elements tended to be nice surprises. Now, I do agree with you that I think the guy with the antlers, who with all these character names, who knows? But he perhaps was a little bit over the top, but I found the show to be very good, and I think Brian is right. Although I do defend my $50 bet on the superstar status of young Peter, but the egg kid, that kid is dialed in. One of the best acting performances I've seen in a long time, and he didn't even have that much screen time. I was so convinced of his character that it kind of took me aback. So this is a show. I was 10 minutes, 20 minutes into House of Dragons. I was like, no. Never going to watch it again. I watched the entire pilot of this show, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching. And budget-wise, last thing, it's way smaller than the others, under 10 million bucks per episode, deliberately, according to ChatGPT, deliberately scrappy compared to the $15 to $20 million splurges on Game of Thrones or the House of Dragons. So I think Brian and I both would agree that why are you spending $20 million on a show called House of Dragons after Game of Thrones? What are you going to do it again? Like, it's so silly.
I mean, it really is a cash grab of trying to extend it out, and I think that it does it a disservice because I think that like gets me thinking that it's going to be in this vein of this style, of this ilk, and then you give me this comedy, and it just like I see the same thing with Star Wars. It's like you're setting yourself up. It's like you're setting yourself up for failure because like you're tapping into a fan base and then providing different content. And I think that for me is like it doesn't allow me to give it a fair shot because I'm like, and I think what isn't being talked about enough is like Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones might be one of the greatest characters in TV history.
That's not an understatement. Agreed.
And just like you're contending with that one of like you're contending with one of the greatest TV characters, and a rawness that felt real, even despite the Jamie, how you hated him, and then you came to love to sympathize for him,
Yes.
and just such strong characters, and it took itself seriously. And I think that, like, I don't. That's why I'm not really liking the comedy, because co- comedy existed in that Game of Thrones things, but within the confines of it taking itself seriously. And this is, kind of have it's lighthearted, and that's fair, but I just think it's like, it's just like going out to dinner at one of the best restaurants, and you get served, a Peter Dinklage, it's magnus opus. You arrive at an actor who delivers a role that they were meant to. It's just like kind of the universe and the whole, like, God, he was like meant to play this role, and it's like, how are you supposed to follow that up? How are you supposed to follow that up when, like, that's the bar?
Right.
I just, like, don't know what they're supposed to do, to be honest.
So do we both
Make a story about him. Make him go with him, being like, get him back, get Peter back, and follow his story with him and Jamie. Do a story with him. Is Jamie Jamie died?
bring him back?
Bring him back. Multiverse, Spider-Man, Thor.
Yeah. But Brian, so do you think we agree on that? We thought the camera work was good.
I always like the tripod. I think that was it. I think what I just got off my chest was like, it's just the continuation of these IPs doesn't allow for anybody to experience the movie, especially when you're trying to change tones. If you're gonna keep going in the same tone you've established, okay, but don't throw on these Game of Thrones. Go from the creator of Game of Thrones, but like, I think even then you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're selling people hamburgers and then you're giving them a chicken sandwich.
Right. And I'll tell you, I like chicken sandwiches. No, but
I do too. So like, you ended up liking it, but I wanted a hamburger. I ordered a hamburger, or you were telling me a hamburger. I got a chicken sandwich, and this particular time I was feeling a little bit picky.
So wait, but do we also agree it's better than House of Dragons?
Oh yes,
okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah. I think we're getting closer.
Yeah, we're getting closer. So in summary.
But we're getting farther in some ways, because now we're kind of losing, like, the royal family, which I think is actually a huge part of the Game of Thrones thing, is like the throne. Game of Thrones is the throne. Without the royal family, now it's like, yes, you get some good production, but like, now I feel like, all right, they couldn't juggle all those characters. They had moments with the King and the Mask from the House of Dragons where you're like, okay, yeah, you're getting this, and then you lose it. It was just too much for them to juggle, and now they're coming back and they're getting some things right, and then I think it's just, again, it's like, now it's missing that for me. The throne, is like, that was a huge appeal for it. Is like, that's the whole dichotomy of it, and I think it's like Star Wars. You got to figure out what makes something cool within the Game of Thrones universe, like separating it. I don't know what you do, but I would get Peter Dinklage back.
No, well, I think we both agree that it was better than House of Dragons. I'm pretty high on it. Brian's a little on it, but in general, I think the fact that
a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
What?
You said that the House of the Dragons. Steven, you're living in 2014.
No.
Bro, dude, we just celebrated Happy New Year, in case you weren't aware.
No, but I think in general, I think it's definitely worth a watch for people. You might not like it, you might, but yes. I really do. I do see this kid. We have been missing for a long time in American film industry a superstar. I know he's Irish, but a super likable action hero, and I haven't seen. And I'll tell you what, Timothy Chalamet is not.
I was going to say, how dare you?
No, he does not count,
dude. He watches every episode, and now he's gone. Now he's gone.
We lost him.
Now he's
All
gone.
right.
No,
Well-
yeah, no. The kind of the big bulking, since Chris Hemsworth and those guys, yeah, we haven't. So we'll keep an eye because Steven needs that $50 because,
Big time.
and I'm pretty sure he owes me. So you know what? I'm kind of ticked about this. So you guys got to stay tuned. We appreciate you all watching and let us know what you think. I don't know what I'm talking about. These are just
Neither
my
do I.
feelings, but we want to hear what you think too. Don't get mad at us. This is a community, all love, and we appreciate you all watching. We'll catch you all on another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers.